Warning, the upcoming information may cause sweaty palms, inability to speak, wet pants, and the sizzling sensation of a hole burning in your pocket. Enter with caution.
Venomess is a strong support and ranged character in Wayfinder. She is known as a deadly spy from the maze with poisons that have changed the course of history. The gloom swallowed both the maze and the Empire, so her secret war is over, but now she's a survivor and she's working with the Seekers, the only players in town. She's known as the Alchemist, and it says that she loves to play with her prey, and she can switch between ranged and melee combat with ease. Her chemicals can poison her enemies and strengthen her allies, and her thrusters give her tremendous mobility. Looking at her backstory, before the fall, the name Venomess was feared among the Imperial ranks. Those unfortunate enough to have put the face to the name seldom survived. Venomess is a spy and assassin from a nation of monsters, born of cold and poisonous blood. In her time, she's broken into so-called impenetrable vaults, stolen secrets from the Avar throne itself, and brought down more Archon commanders and master spellsmiths with her toxins than entire regiments by compare. Ven was born in the maze. Her closest friends are goblins and battle beasts, and though she looks human, appearances, like most things when it comes to Ven, can be deceiving. A brilliant alchemist and inventor, Venomess has always preferred stalking prey in the shadows to mixing salves in a workshop. Most of all, Ven craves a challenge, and the gloom is the greatest challenge of all. Venomess believes the Avar Imperium was an oppressive, warmongering regime and devoted her life to toppling it. Now the Empire has finally fallen, consumed by the gloom, but all she hopes to protect in the maze has been lost as well. Ven may not care for Wingrave or the other Imperial soldiers among the Seekers, but she recognizes that her Cold War is over. In the wake of the Gloomfall, survival is the only thing that matters, and Venomess intends to survive, no matter the cost. She's considered like a 2.5 star complexity, making her not that real difficult to use, kind of on the easier side, I guess you would say, if you are good with ranged players and using guns and stuff. She has 4 abilities, 3 abilities, and an ultimate. Her first ability is going to be Transfusion, where you shoot a volley of poison needles that lock on to nearby enemies, dealing damage. When you hit an enemy with the needle, it causes the healing projectile to seek out a nearby Wayfinder. These projectiles heal over time based on the number of stacks of venom on the source of the enemy. So she has a dot and a hop. The next one is going to be Vampiric Blast. You'll launch a bomb that absorbs up to 5 nearby poison clouds. After a brief delay, the bomb explodes, dealing damage to enemies and healing allies based on the number of poison clouds absorbed. Now, can you just attack a bunch of them and then make a poison cloud appear? I do believe so, but we'll have to test the theory out. Attacking a bunch of enemies to make a poison cloud, many poison clouds appear, and then all of those poison clouds explode a lot. Venom Thrusters. Dash in a direction, leaving a trail of poison clouds behind you. Poison clouds damage and apply stacks of venom to enemies. And then we have her ultimate, which is called Deep Breath. It fires a massive explosion that damages and applies 5 stacks of empowered venom to enemies. Now, empowered venom deals damage over time and counts as additional stacks of venom for the Master of Venoms and Transfusion abilities, which we're getting ready to get into. And we talked about the Transfusion ability earlier, so it's like an additional stack on top of that. But her passive ability is Master of Venoms. And so for this passive ability, every time you hit an enemy with the weapon, you're going to apply venom to that enemy, and it's going to be dealing damage over time and stacks up to 5 times. So the Deep Breath is going to put more stacks on top of that stack. Now, weapon hits against enemies with 5 stacks of venom create a poison cloud that deals damage and applies a stack of venom to those other enemies that enter that poison cloud. Now, a poison cloud can only be created by this effect once every 5 seconds. And then we have our signature weapon, Nightshade. The Venomous designed many weapons for the maze. Now, it's very interesting that they labeled her the Venomous, and what's her actual name. The Venomous has designed many weapons for the maze, but Nightshade she made for herself. Its needles are infused with the venom of an Orlake wyvern, ensuring a swift and painful demise. Now, do you say wyvern or do you say wyvern? Let me know in the comments. The weapon's ability is called Wyvern's Fury. It reloads the rifle with an empowered clip during the clip, The weapon is fully automatic and every bullet is infused to apply a stack of poison on hit. Poison deals a small amount of damage over 6 seconds, stacking up to 20 times. It's a belief that Venomess might be part wyvern, something that we haven't seen in the game yet, any screenshots or anything like that of what a wyvern or a wyvern would look like in the game. But if Venomess could be part wyvern, going with that, anime aesthetic where the dragons turn into humans, she could be, or World of Warcraft, the dragon aspects turn into their human forms or elf forms, humanoid forms. It could be something similar with Venomess, who isn't necessarily human, but she has all that poisonous stuff inside of her. So she might be the Oral Lake wyvern. We'll have to find out when we play the game and get more into her character. Now keep in mind, each Wayfinder will be able to use all of the weapons that are available in the game, so it's going to be pretty curious to see if she gets some other weapons that work well with her ability to stack upon multiple enemies, like daggers. You probably use some daggers that have a poison ability, as well as putting more dots onto that. That is a thing that can happen. Now I do believe that when we're looking at stats that we might want to stack up on Venomess before the game even comes out, before we had a chance to play her, I'm going to suggest and guess that we might want to focus on ability power and potentially crit rate, but we'll have to see how that goes. And it also depends on what kind of build you make. You can build a tank build if you want to, or you can just go straight DPS. I personally prefer killing things fast, because the faster they die, the longer I live. All right, let me know what your thoughts are on this character, this Wayfinder, in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one, where I believe we'll talk about Founders Packs. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and like the video, and until next time, peace.